All right, we've got to break down the story of the man on screen right now. This is Hector Valdes Cocho. He is a Cuban dissident who happens to be gay and is also a huge Trump supporter. So much so that he spent the past few years advocating for Trump's return to the White House, saying that Trump will make America great again. Yet ironically, Hector will never be allowed in America again thanks to Trump's own policies. And we now have proof from the ICE website that this dude is being held in a detention facility in Florida. And I'd love to break this all down. But while we're on this topic of leopards eating faces, have you guys heard this story? Outspoken Trump voter moves across the country for a park ranger job only to find Trump's hiring freeze eliminated that position. And if you guys have heard the phrase leopards eating faces, it comes from this post. Quote, "I never thought the leopards would eat my face," sobs woman who voted for the leopards eating faces party. And this applies to Hector. This applies to this story. Every story that we're about to tell throughout this video is a leopards eating face moment. So make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Mockler channel so we can hit 1 million. I love every one of you guys that watches my videos, and let's just jump in. File this one under the face eating leopards again. A Trump voter is lamenting their decision to uproot themselves and move across the country now that they can't come back. This says, "I know it's often hard to sympathize with them, given the fact that they were warned, and also Trump is overtly, loudly, and purposefully an idiot and a jerk all of the time. So even if he didn't ruin their life specifically, it's hard to even like the Trump voters. But some of them do get blindsided by things out of the blue." And this reads, "I sure hope no one has planned to visit any national parks this year. Thanks to Trump, there will be no park staffing. Such a shame. I thought he was going to fix stuff, not make it worse." That was a Facebook post of the unnamed Trumper who found out he couldn't come home to a different position within the national parks that he was going to get. It's blacked out and anonymized because the screen capture who posted it from Reddit is a coworker of them, but this is just one story out of many. What about this one? Someone posted on Blue Sky, "My parents are conservative and own a business whose sole purpose is writing federal grants. Their entire income is now completely gone because of Trump. The leopards are having an absolute feast." Even beyond that, what about this one? Quote, "We are the marks. Some Trump fans feel that they have been had after the Ponzi meme coin release." And this is personally one of my favorite stories because it was so obvious what Trump was doing. He was using the hype of his inauguration to release a meme coin, not only for himself, but also for Melania. If you guys saw that, I broke that down. And it's an unprecedented level of corruption. Genuinely, even a lot of my Trump supporter friends were saying, dude, that is very corrupt because Trump doesn't even know what crypto is, yet he's trying to profit off of it. President Donald Trump's official meme coin isn't just rubbing some crypto executives the wrong way, it's also annoying some of his run-of-the-mill MAGA supporters. The Guardian has found some comments posted on pro-Trump subreddits that show how disillusioned they are. Among other things, posters on the forum described the coin as, quote, "degrading to the office of the presidency." Someone said it was a lame money grab. Someone said it was a bad idea with a million ways to go wrong and derail his second term. Someone else said it was shady, and someone else said it was kind of gross. Kind of gross is an understatement, but another poster argued that Trump's meme coin looks bad and is bad, while yet another declared that this crypto is the most blatant Ponzi scheme in history, and we are the marks. This person is so self-aware that they know we are the marks. But the criticisms have not stopped Trump because he still is advocating for this meme coin, and the leopards are going to eat anybody's face who buys this specific coin. But this brings us on to the main story of today. I want to tell you guys a story of Hector Valdes Cocho. This reads, his name is Hector. He is a gay and a Cuban dissident. And by the way, this was translated. I had to translate this, so the English may not be perfect, because he is gay and a Cuban dissident. He supported President-elect Donald Trump. He was part of the far-right Cuban Americans who supported and endorsed the current President Trump. Hector Valdes Cocho, Cuban opponent, it says, was arrested in Florida. His arrest comes amid allegations of social media scams, and I actually found the article of when he got arrested, and I translated it, and there wasn't an actual reason within this article, but it seems like it could have been a traffic violation or some sort of scam that he pulled off, but that's besides the point. He was arrested within Florida. Now this says, he was arrested last November 19th in Orange County, Florida. The Orange County Sheriff's Office reported via Facebook that the arrest of Valdes is related to 2 arrest warrants issued out of the county, specifically in the Rio Indio area, with a bond amount set to $2,000, according to the Orange County Sheriff's Office records portal. So, according to several of his victims, including a journalist, the young man has engaged in swindling taxpayers who lent him several sums of money and were never returned. That's quite Trumpian of him. Now I get why he supported Trump, because scammers are attracted to scammers. But now, Hector Luis was arrested by ICE and is awaiting deportation. There's a few photos we can click on here. We can either look at the photo of Hector holding this MAGA flag right here, and we can also look at what happens after. In the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, in the ICE portal, you can look up Hector Luis Valdes Cocho, who is in ICE custody and who is currently being held in the Broward Transitional Center in Florida. Now, what's the takeaway here? The takeaway is not that we should be deporting more and more people. The takeaway is not that we're all of a sudden pro-deportation. It's that there are consequences to your actions, but only if you're a Trump supporter. See, if you're Donald Trump himself, you can somehow avoid consequences every step of the way. Even if you're the people around Trump, you'll likely get a pardon. You'll be able to avoid consequences, but Trump's voters will bear all of the consequences of the tariffs, of the deportations if they supported Trump. I'm not sure if this guy voted. I don't think he can vote. But if they supported Trump and their family member gets deported, or if some of their benefits, like the other day when the Medicaid portals went down, a lot of Trump voters rely on Medicaid. So that is a prime example. We can even look at this. I've talked to you guys a lot about how my dad is Muslim. He's from Syria, and we had many conversations about Trump versus Harris on Palestine, and we agreed every time that Harris would be much, much better for the people in Palestine, for the people in the Middle East. Yet this person, Ariana Jasmine, said, as a Middle Eastern and Muslim voter, I will not be voting for Biden-Harris in 2024. And listen, the Biden-Harris administration was far from perfect. There are many valid criticisms you can have when it comes to Israel and Palestine, when it comes to other foreign policy and even domestic policy. I think that Biden did quite a great job passing domestic policy. But listen, if you want to say that they're not perfect, that is fine. But you can't then say that you're not going to vote and complain after. So Ariana said, I cannot vote for a cabinet that willfully murders innocent civilians and is complicit in a genocide. Sorry, folks, can't be me. The decision has been made. We're not going to force you to vote, but if you face the consequences after, that's on you, because she then posted 3 days ago on January 28th, why the fuck are Democrats so silent? The nation is falling apart. Please, for the love of God, say or do something. It's like, homie, you had the chance to vote for Democrats. Many Muslim majority towns, whether you're looking at Dearborn, Michigan, other towns in Michigan, went for Trump this time because they thought Trump was going to be some deal maker, some master negotiator. But now they're realizing, as he tears every institution down one by one, that Trump is not who they thought he was. And I don't know, whether we're talking about Hector, whether we're talking about the person who moved across the country, or any Muslim voters, I think it would be beneficial for this country if Trump voters understood that there are consequences to their actions, that they voted for somebody, they rolled the die on an orange, unhinged maniac, and that there are consequences to what they did. And I'm not sure if it'll wake up some of the more staunch MAGA supporters, but a lot of people in this country voted for Trump because of economic anxiety, whether we like it or not, and they need to understand, you can't gamble on a lunatic. There is a reason why President Biden's steady hand worked. I mean, how much attention did the Biden administration bring over the past 4 years? Were there daily press conferences where he was making up lies about DEI? No, he had a steady hand, and there's value in that. I'll leave it at that. And really quickly, I think we can all agree that social media is often at the heart of the misinformation and disinformation in our political landscape. Right now, Twitter is a mess that amplifies all of Trump's lies in the algorithm, and I was equally as surprised to hear that Meta appears to be giving up any guardrails to ensure honest information is shared on their platforms like Facebook or Instagram. This article headline reads, Meta is ending its fact-checking program in favor of a community note system similar to X. Over 750 outlets have covered Meta ending fact-checking on their platforms. And out of the 772 total news sources, 114 of them lean left, 117 of them lean right, and 128 of them are centrist. Being able to see the framing side by side makes it finally possible to cut through the different narratives, and that's exactly why I'm partnering with Ground News for this video. Ground News is an app and a website that gathers related articles from around the world into one consolidated place, but they give you context about each each source's political leaning, they give you context about the factual reliability of each source, and most importantly, they tell you who owns each source of news. This lets you see through the bias and think critically about the news you're consuming, all in a single, easy-to-read feed. And because they're a long-term partner to my channel here, I can get you a fantastic discount, which is 40% off for a limited time on their Vantage plan. So the next time that you feel like you're being pushed or persuaded, or you just want another point of view, check out Ground News with my unique link, ground.news/am. Or in the description below, you'll get the full link and you can get the full picture.